Hi guys, it's Jay again from Ayaba's Wind. I am back to do your reading for the new year. Happy New Year, Libra. I hope all has been well. Um, basically, this is going to be a reading that's going to cover the next several months. Okay, I'm going to be reading from a kind of Afro-Cuban spiritualist perspective because, as you know, I am a priestess in the Afro-Cuban tradition. And so I'll just be giving my take on things for the next several months. All right. If you like what I'm doing, please like the video, definitely share, and certainly subscribe. And you are more than welcome to become a part of Ayaba's Wind family. And if you want a reading, you can definitely email me at ayabaswind, WYND 999 at gmail.com. I just wanted to thank for those people who have been donating to my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Um, to my godchildren, I'm wishing you a great happy new year. And to all of my subs, I'm wishing you the same. I'm wishing you great success and taking great strides and great steps to fulfilling your dreams and accomplishing your goals this year. Okay. So keep in mind, this is a general reading. Some of the information may apply, all of it may apply, or none of it may apply. Okay. And the energies can take place over the next several days, several weeks, or several months. And as to how they play out, that's based on, what you do spiritually, what your practices are. Okay. So spirit is talking about don't play with fire or you're going to get burned. Okay. So spirit is basically saying that you may be a little experimental. You may like to take risks, okay? Um, or you can be dealing with people and or challenging people that really you don't need to be messing around with, okay? Spirit is warning you to be very, very careful, okay? There is a lot of spiritual heat that is around you. And when there's spiritual heat, that's not a good look. Okay. You got to be extra cautious. You got to be extra prayerful and on your A game as far as your spiritual practices are concerned. Okay. Spirit's talking about, anyone is sick, you got to be very careful of visiting sick people. Okay. We know that, Omarion is going around. Okay. And there's a lot of people who are not feeling well. All right. I don't know what's going on, but spirit is saying you don't need to be around all that if you can help it. All right. Not only for the physical aspects of it, as far as like, germ theory and all of that, but spiritual aspects as well, because there are some people who get sick as a result of exposure to dark spirits or spell work that has been done on them, and yes, it happens, it's real. Okay. No matter what spiritual tradition you're in. Okay, just don't blame everything on African based religions and spiritual practices. Okay, people from all around the world, okay, not just people of color, okay, indulge in this. Okay, and they could be in the high holiest of churches, all the way to the masjids, to the Buddhist temples, to the templos or the cabildos or whatever, wherever they are. All right. So Spirit is saying you got to watch visiting sick people. Spirit is saying that you got a lot of envious people that are around you. Okay. And people, you may be excited about, new energy that you've acquired or, your talents and your gifts and whatever, but there's people around you who are not feeling that. Okay. Keep in mind, like, this whole world and people in the world are going through a lot of changes. And so not everyone's going to be happy for you. Okay. And Spirit is saying because you know more, these people are going to feel a way about it. All right. Spirit is saying that there could be money coming through a woman or feminine energy. Okay. And Spirit is also talking about um if you were married or if you were in a deeply committed relationship with your husband or a masculine energy, that masculine could have left due to some kind of brujeria, witchcraft, spell work that was done to him. Okay. Now, this spell work could have been done to you, and maybe that is why you left a particular relationship. Okay. Or spirit is saying is that, if you are the feminine energy watching this, that your masculine could be leaving or may have left as a result of spell work or something bad that was done to them. Okay, this is what Spirit is saying. Spirit's talking about you definitely got to watch for traps. You got to watch for gossip traps. You got to watch for pregnancy traps. You got to watch for traps in paperwork. You got to watch for traps from the law. All right. Spirit is saying you got to be very careful. Spirit's talking about you may hear news of someone passing away. And Spirit is saying, like, if you are not feeling well, do not go to that funeral. Don't go to that wake. Don't go to that burial. Okay. When you are not feeling well, you vibrate much lower. And when you vibrate low, that leaves you open and susceptible to being spiritually attacked, to being spiritually possessed and mounted. Okay. And to have dark spirits, low vibration entities or things, entities possessing you and manipulating you, okay, and taking over, okay. So spirit is saying, you know, funeral parlors, there's lots of spirits, okay. Cemeteries, there's lots of spirits. So spirit's saying that you don't need to be there if you don't have to be there, okay. Um, Also, spirit is talking about being mindful of your arms and your legs and potential for breaks or breaking something. Okay. So, trying to be evil Knievel, doing backflips and wheelies and, rock climbing Mount Everest or something like that. The spirit's like, no, not now, not today. You're not scaling the side of a building in Dubai like Mission Impossible. Okay, we're not doing that because Spirit is saying you could break some limbs, all right? And Spirit is saying that someone um more than likely has thrown some brujeria, witchcraft, spell work on you to make you lose your life or to make you lose your job or your livelihood. So spirit is saying like there is a lot of heat around you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Um, I'm hearing something coming through, something about if you can't stand the heat, then get out the kitchen. Okay. Something like that. So you may have an idea of what that means. But spirit is also talking about, you got to watch your blood. Okay. There's a lot of concern around your blood, the blood that flows through your veins. Okay. So you have to watch exposure to things that can make you sick through your blood. Like, so you got to watch STDs, especially STDs um, that affect the blood, like HIV, hepatitis, um, um, maybe some other blood disorders like sickle cell anemia, um, leukemia, things that affect the blood. So, Spirit is wanting you to go to the doctor and check yourself every 3 to 6 months to make sure your blood is okay. All right. Spirit's saying, if you don't know the laws that you must live by and be on the good side of them, then you're going to be on the other side of the law. Okay. So, Spirit is saying, you better heed the warnings that are given to you. Okay. If you have friends that are scammers, if you have friends that walk the fine line between legal and illegal, Spirit is advising you, you better walk on the right side, okay? Because uh, Spirit is saying that the law is all around you, all right? And eyes are on you. You got to be careful of things falling objects. So, watch walking by like fire escapes, construction, awnings and things of that nature. Spirit's talking about something about your nerves and anxiety, which may be at its peak or may be peaking. So you may have challenges with sleeping. All right. And so Spirit is advising that, you take your white baths, you dress in white, you can, wash your head in fresh, pure coconut water, as long as you don't have any allergies to that. You could do that once a week, once a month. Wrap your head in white, sleep in white sheets, wear as much white as possible because there's a lot of heat around you, okay? Spirit's talking about something about the foot. There's something, I don't know if there's an injury to the foot and or the leg, but there's something going on with the foot. And if it hasn't happened now, Spirit is saying you got to watch for something happening to your foot, okay, or your leg. Um, the Spirit is saying that, if you have a male child, that this male child may need spiritual work done. Okay. And what could be the possibilities for this spiritual work? The possibilities for this spiritual work being done is that, uh, okay, this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing sometimes the sins of the parent can fall on the child. Okay, so you may need to get spiritual work done on this child. Maybe a spiritual reading, or you could do a white bath for the child. Okay, you know, because there may be something that's affecting and impacting the child's um, development. There could be something affecting the child's behavior. Also, on the other end of this child could be very spiritual, can be destined to become a minister, a babalao, hugan, um, an imam, you know some high holy person. And so the Spirit is calling for this to be assessed, okay? Spirit's saying like white is going to be your color, okay? White is going to bring you great luck and great success. It's going to help you to get clear about the things you need to do, and the roads are going to be open for you. Spirit's talking about some kind of business deal that you are embarking on or that you're involved with is going to be very risky, and you need to think long and hard about going into this business deal, okay? Spirit's talking about, if you see a beggar in the street, um, if you have, it is to your benefit to give to this person. Don't give your last. Don't give if you feel unsafe. But Spirit is saying you need to be giving, okay? Because your heart is going to be weighed with the feather. Is your heart going to be light as a feather? And so Spirit is looking at, the deeds that you have done, and eyes are on you. Karma is going to be very big in 2022. All right. Um, and Spirit's talking about, you're going to have to address your stomach and digestion issues and challenges, because there could be issues with that. Okay, there could be issues with you maybe having a sensitive stomach, being able to go to the bathroom, IBS, things of that nature. And so, in which case, you definitely need to get that assessed um, with the doctor, with your physician. Okay, but Spirit is talking about something about your house. Your house could be in shambles, okay? And this may be pertaining to your physical house, where you got to get rid of a lot of junk and a lot of shit, or it could be pertaining to your spiritual house and your foundation, or it could be pertaining to the people in your house as far as relationships, your core. Okay. And spirit is saying you need to get that in order to regain your luck. Okay. And spirit's talking about your money. Like money could be uh flowing like water through a basket. Okay. So you got to be very mindful of what's happening to your money, because money is going to be an issue here. All right. Money and the law. Spirit is talking about your bloodline, and I'm hearing, for some of you, you may have to make right with your bloodline, because spirit is talking about, you know, some generational curses that have been passed down through the bloodline, and it is up to you. Um, sorry, like the onus and the responsibility falls on you to break those curses that have been formed in your bloodline, okay? So it's really important for you to not repeat the negative things that your ancestors have engaged in, whether it's addictions, sex addictions, porn addictions, addictions with cheating and women and men and affairs and all of these things, and health, eating correctly. It's not just a one prong approach, it is a multi prong approach. This is what spirit is saying. Spirit is like, you got to be mindful of the blood that flows through your veins, and this pertains to not just you, but your children and your children's children. And if you don't have children, the children to come, okay? Spirit is talking about you got to be mindful of what you do, how you do it, how you interact and impact people, because everything is going to be counted and monitored and watched. Okay. Spirit's talking about like earaches or headaches. It's something to do with that. So, in which case you definitely need to go to the physician to see about that if they're becoming frequent. Spirit's talking about that there is envy. Okay. And, maybe you could be experiencing discomfort, maybe as a result of some spell work that has been done. Okay. But spirit is talking about a financial strain, something with the finances again. You got to watch your money. You got to watch your money. It may be beneficial for you guys to acquire a pumpkin, because pumpkins, especially back in the day, represented wealth because of the abundance of seeds. And if you had seeds, you had wealth, okay, because you could propagate new crops. All right. So spirit is you know, wanting you to be mindful again of the whole STDs. STDs are really, really big for 2022. So just make sure you wrap it up and you're getting checked and double checked and rechecked. All right. And Spirit's talking about traps. Spirit is talking about marital issues. So you don't necessarily have to be married. You could be in a long-term relationship or a serious relationship. And Spirit is saying that there is going to be growing pains. There's going to be, Spirit's talking about expansion. Like Spirit's saying, like someone wants to expand and they feel like they can't expand with this person. Okay. And, if you're into astrology, I'm not much into deep into astrology, but I do know that Jupiter has to do with expansion. Okay. And so something or someone could be stifling that person's ability to expand. Okay. And this could be causing issues. Spirit is saying that you are a heavy, heavy, heavy spiritualist. Now, as to whether you work your spirituality or not, that's another story. Some people even go as far to drinking their spirituality away, smoking their spirituality away because they don't want to deal with it. So many people are caught up in this whole mundane earthly plane with material items that the whole concept of spirituality has gone out the window. you know, as long as you got your IG to look at all your Insta hotties and other people's lives and Facebook, you're good. But people fail to realize that this year to come, We're in this year, this new year right now. All of that nonsense is going to be irrelevant. BBLs, breast implants, how white you can get your teeth, how long you can get your wig, you know what I'm saying? How red your red bottoms are. You know what I'm saying? All of that's going to be irrelevant, all right? Or how many bottles you can pop in the club. All right? Ain't nobody thinking about that right now because spirit is saying that you are a heavy spiritualist. Luck follows you. But you got to believe, you got to be consistent in your spiritual practice, okay? Spirit is saying that, if you really tapped into it, you have that lucky mojo hand. You got that fast hand, okay? You got luck with numbers, with gambling, with lotto, with money. Now, if you go play the lottery, do not play your child's tuition or your car payment or your mortgage payment. You take a couple of dollars here and there and see what you can get. But Spirit is saying, don't spend up everything. All right. You got to clean your house spiritually because again, this there's something going on with the house, the core, the foundation. Okay. Yes, everything may be neat and clean, but Spirit is saying something's not right. There could be dark energies lurking, in which case you got to smoke things out and not just with sage. Okay. Sage is very commercialized. Okay. We're not talking about sage. We're talking about you can get some copal, COPAL resin, and burn it on some quick light charcoal, frankincense, and myrrh on some quick light charcoal. I'm not talking about the little incense sticks. Nah. I'm talking about the resin that needs to be burned throughout the house. Okay. Mop your house with ammonia. Okay. And water. Open the window so you don't pass out. Okay, mop your house out with ammonia from back to front, and then mop in with something sweet to bring in the blessings. Okay, because something is up with your house. There's either a dark, dark energy, a dark, dark room. You gotta let some light in. There's something going on. Okay. Um, a spirit is saying, like after I said that, they're talking about someone may have passed away in um someone's house that's watching this. Okay. And so that's where there may be a disruption there. Spirit's talking about you got to be careful of food poisoning at this time. People don't, sometimes they don't prepare their food hygienically. Okay. I know people who leave their food out for 2, 3, and 4 days and they feed the people without this food being refrigerated. All right. That's not a good look. You don't do that. Okay, because bacteria grows in the food and people can get sick. So spirits saying you got to be careful of food poisoning. Spirits talking about the feminines that are watching this. Spirit is talking about that there are love problems, there are love issues. There are love issues. So you may want to work on these mantras for love, like aham prima. You could say that for 10 minutes or do this on your mala 108 times. Okay, you could do it in the morning, at night. If you can memorize a song on Spotify and Pandora and all these, you know, um, platforms, music platforms, you can damn sure memorize Aham Prima, which is divine love. Okay. And you can check out my playlist for love mantras, but there are love issues for my feminines. Okay. Spirits talking about, for the masculines that are watching this, money is flying out of your hands and you can't keep it. Okay. It's like you get money and the money's going out the pocket. Okay. It's almost like there's something pulling the money away from you. All right. And so you definitely gonna have to consider doing like a money bath ritual, which is you can get some herbs. Now they're saying thyme. I'm hearing like marjoram, thyme. You can add parsley and mint to this bath, okay? And get the fresh herbs, get a big bowl of water, cool water, tepid water. Start ripping and shredding the herbs, and with a candle, white candle lit or a green candle, and you're praying for financial wealth and abundance the right way. And I'm saying the right way because if you don't specify, that money can come through the death of someone. Well, if you don't mind that, you can keep it general, but I'm saying you want to be specific, okay? You're ripping and shredding, you're praying for what you want financially and otherwise. Once you finish, you're going to go wash with soap and water, rinse off, and you're going to dump this over. You could do this for 3 days to 7 days, okay? You could spread that bath out as long as you refrigerate it. If you don't refrigerate it, it's going to get a little funky, all right? But you can still use it. The spirit is talking about with these money issues and with the issues of the law that were being mentioned, your ancestor shrine that you set up is going to be key to helping you to pull out of a situation, okay? And so, like I said, the materialistic earthly realm, these material items, that's not going to help you. Okay, the Gucci bag is not going to help you. Who's going to help you is your ancestors, the divine, through prayer and meditation. So, Spirit wants you to set up that ancestor shrine, the glass of water, the candle, the flowers, the coffee, the cookies, cakes, sweets, the fruits, the liquor, the cigarettes that the people used to smoke that were in your bloodline. Get it hooked up and started. Don't let anything go bad. Change the water periodically, and say your prayers and be like, look, light, peace, and progress to the spirit of Auntie May. Life Peace and Progress, the spirit of Uncle Bill. Life Peace and Progress to Grandma um, um, Mary. Whatever. And then after you say your life, peace, and progress to all the spirits that you can name, knock 3 times and start talking. Be like, look, I need your help. I'm going through this, I'm going through that. I've given you all of these offerings, I've given you prayers, please help me out. All right. And Spirit is saying that the ancestors are going to help you. It's also going to be to your benefit to take some sweet baths. So you can take a bowl, put 5 big cups of water in the bowl. If you have a little bit of river water, you can add some river water to it. And then you can put some honey in there. You're going to stir with your left hand. And you're going to pray for love and happiness and abundance and relationships and all of that. You can light a white candle or yellow candle as you're praying, stirring with your left hand, having your eyes closed, praying for what you want, what the ideal partner is. Don't mention anyone's names, okay? You're asking for the divine to bring you someone for your highest good. When you're finished, you go to the shower, wash with soap and water, rinse off. You're going to dump this over your head. You're going to do this for 5 to 7 days. Okay. And you're going to sweeten up your disposition, your aura. You're going to pray every time you're doing the bath and see what happens. Okay. And Spirit is saying, like, wearing gold is going to be beneficial to you. You should try and get an azabache, which is a black jet bead to kind of deflect jealousy and negative energy. Okay. But Spirit is saying you definitely got to watch yourself. You got to watch, you know, um, the people around you. And you also got to monitor your children. Okay. Because your children are connected to you through your bloodline as well. So just monitor your children. Spirit is saying, like, nobody knows the wealth that they have until it's gone, until you lose it. All right. So sometimes, and this may have happened where, you may have had a good thing and you didn't realize it was good until it was gone. Okay. Or until you went through some bad times with some bad people. And you were like, damn, like, why did I? Okay. Because Spirit is saying that, it may exhibit some self-sabotaging behaviors. And the self-sabotaging behaviors can be exhibited through fear. Okay. Spirit's talking about, like, someone who's watching this makes too many excuses. Too many excuses. And at some point, someone is going to have to take responsibility and accountability for their actions. It can't always be that this person's to blame and that person's to blame and they did this and it happened this. No. How do you factor in? Okay. And it should always go back to you. And if you can honestly say, no, I was not a culprit, I was not responsible, my hands were not in that, then you're good. Okay. And Spirit is talking about, like, do not tell your secrets. You tell your secrets is not a secret anymore, okay? And your business is out there, okay? And Spirit is talking about, you know, what are you going to do? Okay, because someone's sitting on the fence, okay? You either change your job, change the way you do things, or go back to school. But progress has to be made in 2022, okay? And Spirit's talking about a betrayal from a friend. So there's going to be a betrayal. A business partner is going to betray you, a lover's going to betray you, a friend's going to betray you, a brother or sister's going to betray you. Somebody is going to betray you. Spirit is talking about this. Okay? Watch for theft. Watch for theft. Someone stealing from you. They could steal a physical item. They could steal a person, a man or a woman from you, someone you're dating. Someone could steal that person away from you, okay? Or someone could steal an idea from you, okay? And so you got to be very careful, watch for someone who is asking you for favors. Okay. Watch for someone who asks you for favors because Spirit is saying they can give you their ass to kiss. Okay. They're not going to be appreciative. All right. And you got to watch for people staying over your house and stealing from you. All right. What motive do they have? Do you have something that is, of particular value that this person may feel that they need? All right. So you gotta make sure that people that you have over your house are people of similar caliber to you so that you know that you don't have to worry about watching your personal items. Okay. Spirit is asking you to check your kidneys, your nerves, your blood for sickness. Okay. Because, and I'm not saying you're sick, I'm not a doctor, but Spirit is trying to prevent that from happening. So they want you to go to the doctor and get checked every 3 to 6 months. Okay. And Spirit is also saying that, whoever is going to be pregnant, that the pregnancy can require possibly a C-section or some kind of um, additional surgery or concern in order to deliver this baby safely. Okay. Spirit's saying that all that shines is not gold, all that glitters is not gold. So, you got to watch for illusions. Yes, people may look good, you know, they may have like the perfect package. It may seem, in their bio on IG, on whatever platform, the pictures may be, ultra dazzling and spectacular and stupendous and magical. Okay. And then when you see them in real person, you're like, wait, what? Okay. The record scratches, it stops, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not what I saw online. All right. So Spirit is saying you got to be very careful of feeding into the illusions, okay? Because Instagram can be an illusion. Facebook at times can be an illusion. What we call it meta now. I don't know what the hell they call it, but look, we got to be careful here. Spirit is talking again about your home life. Some kind of home life is out of order. I don't give a damn. You could have $50,000 worth of, exotic, expensive furniture and collectibles, in your house. However, Spirit is saying that something is out of order, something is out of whack, something is not right, something is not in balance, something is missing. Okay. Spirit is saying, including a relationship. You may think your relationship is all great and swell and fine when in fact, you go to work or you step out the door and your partner is running to get on the phone to cheat with the next one, next man or the next woman. Okay, Spirit is saying that something is not right. All right. If you feel blocked, because Spirit is saying some people feel blocked or they feel stagnant or they feel stuck or that they don't know which way to go, you can do a rompe Saragüey bath and then uh, an abre camino bath with those herbs. Okay. You can buy them fresh online at amazon.com or originalbotanica.com. But Spirit is saying you need to open up the way. Spirit's talking about don't believe everything you hear, okay? Because there's going to be a mix of lies and truth, which really don't mix. But you're going to hear some lies, okay? Spirit is saying that they want to hear the voice of the opposite sex in your home. Okay. So, what does that mean? Okay. And I'm talking about masculine, feminine energy. So, if you're a same sex couple, someone is riding with the masculine energy and someone is riding with the feminine. What Spirit is saying is that, you could be the player of all players, you could be the playette of all playettes, and you may love your bachelor pad, but Spirit is saying that's not going to work in 2022. You're not going to find your happiness that way. Spirit is saying that your happiness is going to be found in marriage, stability, security, okay? And I'm not just talking finances, I'm talking about love. love. Love and stability and security. This is what Spirit is saying, okay? There's a lot about matrimony and relationship, okay? And some people who are watching this may be riding that line of having a good time, loving to, sample all the different flavors, and you want this flavor on Monday, this flavor on Tuesday, and you definitely want this flavor on Wednesday, okay? But Spirit is saying that's going to get old real fast. And you're going to wind up with nothing if you don't really start to hone in to who you want and what you want, and who you want to share your life with. All right. Spirit is talking about, revolution brings tragedy, or tragedy is going to bring revolution. So there's going to be an upheaval. Okay. This is going to be sort of like the tower moment in, classic tarot. Okay. And so no one likes the tower moment. Um, but the tower is essentially change, and change is transformation. Change is oftentimes very uncomfortable, all right? And it can be very chaotic. But in that chaotic, order will be brought down where there is no order, where you think there may be order, but there ain't no order. So, Spirit is saying you better get A, B, C, D together and in order, because revolution is going to be coming. Okay. Okay. Now, it can bring tragedy, or it may not bring tragedy, but revolution is bound to happen. And it's to what extreme is it going to happen, and how are you going to be prepared for it? So Spirit definitely wants you to keep your eyes open. All right, Spirit's talking about your head, okay? And basically, you got to keep your head in the right place. And Spirit is saying if your head doesn't betray you, then no one can betray you. But if your head betrays you, then people can manipulate you and betray you. Okay? You can be easily manipulated. The Spirit is talking about, you got to be mindful of substances, alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, Xanaxes, popping pills, pain pills, whatever it is, your perks, whatever it is. The Spirit is saying that you could be easily manipulated and taken advantage of if your head is not on right. If you're running with this one and that one, this one's telling you, oh, you got to go here and you got to do this and you go to that. You got to know that no matter how high holy people are, you know, how perfect they may seem, they are still subject to error and to fault, because they are still human. All right. So you got to use your head. If things don't make sense, then it doesn't make sense. So you got to look at the next thing to address. Spirit is saying you are a spiritual sponge. You got to watch where you go and watch where you take your head. Okay? Your pride and your arrogance. Well, you could be prideful, but it could be perceived as being arrogant by some people. And this is what could cause the jealousy and the envy and the throwing of brujeria and witchcraft. Okay? Spirit is saying, this is for some. Libras. I know some Libras can have like a wicked streak, okay? And you may know that you have a wicked streak. You may know that you have a wicked tongue because people have told you about this. They responded to you in a way to let you know, like, oh shit, like I really am kind of, I can be kind of nasty. Spirit is saying, like, if this is you, they want you to work on this so that you don't burn your bridges, okay, and get hurt. Because there's a lot about fire and burning, burning down things, you know, burning connections, getting burned. Okay, so Spirit is wanting you to, kind of reassess things and be better. Be better. If you are better, you do better. All right. And Spirit is talking about adultery, threes, okay, doing threes, having a side guy, a side girl, okay, love triangles. Yeah, it may be cute, you know what I'm saying? You may want to get a little love and hip hop ish, okay, which, you may think may be in style or may be cool to explore or whatever and experimental. But Spirit is saying for you, that will bring death. It will bring death and or tragedy. So Spirit is saying twos, you and somebody, that's fine. But you and somebody else, and then maybe another two or three other people, that's not a good look. Because someone's going to be a little cray cray, a little emotionally imbalanced, okay? And look, you don't need me to tell you. You can go on We Channel, whatever channel they got, okay, and look at Snapped and look at all these crazy crime shows and look at how people, you know, do sneak attacks and shoot people and, bang on the door and knock people off of balconies and all kinds of shit, okay, as a result of these love triangles, okay? So Spirit is saying, you got to be careful of that. Watch your eyesight. No red foods at this time. Okay, no red berries, no red food, no rare meats, undercooked meats, no red wine. This is not going to be good for you because you got a lot of heat around you, okay? And red, the color red is a hot energy. Okay, it incites energy, okay? And Spirit is trying to calm that right now. You should not be eating the heads or the tails of animals. So no, fish head soup, no oxtail that people love. I know it's very good, but Spirit is saying no, none of these you need these products, right? These animal products right now, and no holes in the clothing. I don't give a damn if you paid $300, $600 for those jeans, those Balenciaga jeans or Louis, whatever the hell it is. Spirit is like no holes in your clothing, okay? Because you walk with this very royal kind of energy, okay? And Spirit is saying that you got to protect your energy. And, at no point in history do you hear a king or a queen walking around with holy, raggedy clothing and robes and things and capes and all of that. So, Spirit wants you to not wear holes in your clothing because one, your blessings can leak out of those holes, but also two, entities can easily enter in through those holes and cause issues and problems, okay? So Spirit is saying you got to really monitor and watch over things. You got to check before you go to spiritual events. you know um you got to really check into that, okay? You got to meditate on that. If you don't have a means of throwing ovi or getting a D lagoon reading, you really got to check because you can go to places of worship, and oftentimes, if you go to a church, if you go to wherever, people go and they're experiencing sorrow and sadness and depression, and they're going to the church to get help. And so, but sometimes that sadness and that depression stays in the church. It stays in the place of worship. Um, and because a lot of the churches don't spiritually clean, smoke their spaces out. I know the Catholic Church does. They do it with frankincense and myrrh. but other places don't. And so therefore you go as a spiritual sponge and you pick up this energy, and then your life is a hot mess. Okay, it's a wreck. You can't sleep, you're depressed, you're fighting with people, the house is upside down, the kids are acting out, you lose your job, you're seeing spirits, there's an ill vibe, all kinds of drama. You don't need that. All right, guys, if anything has impacted you, and you want to explore it a little more and you want to get a reading, you can email me at ayabaswind, WYND999 @gmail.com. All right. And if you like what I'm doing, please like the video. Definitely share and certainly subscribe. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I will be doing the love reads for the sign of Libra in the next couple of days. So stay tuned. I'm wishing you a very happy, prosperity filled, and progressive new year for 2022. And I will see you later. Ciao.